Danny Flexon for Seconds Out here with Sky Sports head of boxing, Adam Smith. Adam, we were here at the press conference to announce Ted Cheeseman against Sergio Garcia at the O2. Yeah. How heartening is it for you to see someone like Cheeseman, just 23 years old, coming through to be ready to headline a show at such a big venue?
Well, I think this is the year where we need the young brigade to come through. 2018 was fantastic, but we saw, the closing of Tony Bellew and David Hay and probably Amir Khan and Kell Brook are nearing the end of their careers. Obviously, Khan's got a huge fight in the States, and Kell will want to win another world title. But, we do need fresh blood, so to speak. And I think this is a real opportunity. Boxing is flying. There's huge fights to be made at top level, especially in the heavyweight division, but all through up and down the game on both sides of the Atlantic. And this is a real opportunity for all the unbeaten young stars to come through and start headlining. Frank Warren's got Daniel Dubois and Anthony Yard. I've liked the look of Josh Taylor, who's obviously moved on from that sort of prospect level. But, these undefeated guys like Ted Cheeseman, like Anthony Fowler, like Joshua Buatsi, like Joe Cordino, they've got to start, taking the big chances. And I think it's fantastic that Ted goes from a good British win last year into the unknown, steps up a level against an unbeaten fighter in Sergio Garcia, not the golfer, the fighter. But he, listen, it's a good opportunity, and it's great that it's sort of where he's almost propelled himself at the O2 near his home fans. London's a big boxing base now, and I think it's a great opportunity for him. Likewise, Lawrence Okoli on the bill, Felix Cash, Craig Richards and Jake Ball. Plenty of talent on the bill, and that's what we need this year.
You just mentioned Khan and Brook coming towards the end of their careers. I know you personally were very invested in making a Khan-Brook fight, which now looks unlikely next because Khan Crawford's being officially announced tomorrow. How much of a blow was that to you? Not so much for Sky, but to you personally, because I know you've wanted that fight for a number of years.
Yeah, of course. I was very disappointed way back when Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe never fought. Many of us with Ricky Hatton and Junior Wish are the same scenario. It'd be very disappointing if Kell Brook and Amir Khan never meet. Never say never in boxing. You never know what happens after the Crawford fight, and Kell, maybe he wins another world title. I think what's disappointing, though, is that the time was now. Both of them are coming off average performances, and I think they sort of needed each other, and I think this year would have been fantastic to sort of bookend it with a great narrative with Brook and Khan. But alas, that's not going to happen. I don't blame Amir at all, because you can't blame someone for wanting to go and fight the very best. He did it with Canelo, he's doing it with Terence Crawford. We wish him well. It's an exciting fight in the States. It's just a shame that it's not the Kell Brook fight, and Kell's got to rethink and redirect himself towards a world title shot again.
Do we know at this stage if Crawford versus Khan is going to be on Sky?
No, we don't know at this stage. I'm going to be at the press conference tomorrow, and we'll see where we go with it. But as with all these things, it depends on timing and often money. I mean, if they think it's a box office event and it's April the 20th, we've got one on April the 13th with AJ, so that's not going to happen, is it? So we'll have to wait and see. But as far as I'm concerned, it's a good fight, Khan and Crawford. It's an important global fight. I think he's, a lot of people see him as a huge underdog, Khan, going into it. They did with Canelo. Canelo was much bigger, and he boxed well for a few rounds, and then what happened to him is what probably a lot of people thought would happen. Most things I've read thinks that Crawford, Crawford will win this and win this comfortably. But you've got to take your hat off to Khan for going for these challenges. He's never one to shy away from it. He believes in his talent, his ability, his skill. He likes fighting in America. But yeah, of course I'm disappointed that the Brook Khan fight's not happening. But we've got to move on. It's Khan against Crawford, or Crawford against Khan, and it's a really interesting fight, Danny.